So many people think I'm rich because I have this life, but I'm not rich. I'm going to tell you exactly how you can live your life in a place like this. I'm currently in Thailand, but I live in Malaysia, and you can do this and travel whilst having children. First of all, let me show you my child. There she is. She's got her online class at the moment. She's age 9 and she's doing maths and English this morning. And usually she has a second lesson in the afternoon for an hour, which is her science, and then the rest of it is all about me. So she gets to live in a great place. She gets to learn about money and traveling and household stuff and all the things that I get up to in business. She sees all of that and she sees me on social media. Anyway, let me tell you how you're going to do this. So first of all, you have to realize that what you're doing in England, particularly, because that's where I've come from, you're paying a lot of tax. You're paying money for services that are actually inflated because the UK has sold out the majority of those services to companies abroad. And then those companies are setting those prices. Anyway, that betters the pot for who? Not for you, because the services aren't any better and the profits are bigger. Right? We've heard all about it. We've heard about all the profits these big corporations get and the companies that they've been sold out to. Anyway, I'm not going to waffle on about those kind of things. The point is that you don't have to be rich to live a life of traveling, and you can take your children with you, and you can do it on a very minimum budget. Like, obviously, I have got a house, and I sold my house. No, I rented my house out, and the money that comes from the difference in rent is something that goes towards some of my living. But also I work online, and I did have businesses. I had portfolio of houses. I offloaded every single responsibility. I took enjoyment from cancelling all of my direct debits and had some money, brought it with me, travelled and lived cheap. I'll give you a simple example. I live in a 5-bedroom house with 4 bathrooms, and it's a very spacious house, and that costs me £500, but I don't actually need that. I could quite easily downsize to something much smaller. I have 5 children, by the way, and 2 of them live in the UK and the rest of them are here with me here. So I could downsize to something like a 2 or a 3-bedroom, because where you live really does not matter. The size of the house does not matter. Those needs and desires for the furnishing and the possessions, none of that is actually what you need. What you need is a roof over your head, and you need food in your belly. You need water, you need electric, and you need internet. And that's it. So with even £1,000 a month, I am surviving and paying for my daughter's tuition, and the tuition costs £400 a month. So think about that. We're living on £600. Of that £600, I pay for my internet, and my internet is £30. I pay for my water, £2, and I pay for my electric about £80. But bearing in mind I'm in a big house, and you could easily half that if you downsized on accommodation, because what's more important is what's outside. Because here, not only do you get the sunshine, you get the health, you get the food, the nourishment, but you get the peace, and you're stress-free. Your life becomes a different quality. Today, I'm in Thailand. Yesterday, I was in Malaysia, where I've kind of formed a base. I have the money to do that. I bought a house. In fact, I sold off my some of my assets, and I purchased the house in Malaysia as a kind of base, but also an investment, because my background is business and finance, and I've changed my life. And I have to say, not only do I physically feel better for it, I look better for it, and I now know what real life is about. You are programmed to be the provider, the worker that gives taxes, a hefty amount of taxes. And those taxes aren't even being put back into the country. They're not being invested back into you. They're being invested in what their intentions and agendas are. So the only way to come out of that is to loosen your ties, first of all. So break free from everything that wears you down and that is weighing you down. So, you know, debt is a huge dead weight, but obviously I've always spoken about debt and how it's beneficial, because you have to do the long journey. The long journey is you utilize the debt to make your asset, and the asset is what you need to grow, because that is your wealth. Staying in debt and leveraging against everything is not you staying in a good position. The one that is the leverager is the one that is in the best position, because they're now charging you an interest. So if you own an asset like a house and you've got a very low mortgage, or you have a mortgage, your first and foremost priority is to clear that debt. Don't be distracted by materialism, by clothing, by brands, by possessions that actually have no value to you. You can live within the modest of threads. You can wear the simplest of everything. Don't waste your money on your nails and your lashes and your everything else that you get fobbed to believe about beauty. That can come later, but what's important is the beauty of your soul and your peace in your mind, and that is what's going to come if you get the hell out of the trap that you're in. You're stuck, and you can undo it. So, I know I say people think it's all about money. It's not. Like, it cost me, so I set my base as Malaysia, because Malaysia's quite cheap, but that's because I'm a Muslim and I wanted to be surrounded by that. But Thailand and other places, it can be done. And then you hop with your bags from place to place and country to country, and you travel. And even if you do it for a short period of time, at least you can say you've lived, and you don't get to 65, 70 plus waiting for your retirement to be unwell because you're physically now degenerated and actually can't do much living and happy that you've paid your mortgage off. That is not life. Life is a whole world that is outside there for you to explore, and you can do it with whatever you have currently got. If you have nothing, then that's your plan. Your plan is to build your assets. So if you have to take debt, take it. Work hard, spend less. Don't be silly. Don't waste your money eating out. This is the time where you can build the asset, and the asset is not what they say to you it is. I did that. I bought houses. I leveraged against them. I had a lot of debt, a lot of stress, a lot of worry. And what I then did was I downsized the whole bloody lot. And what was I left with? Potentially, in my 27 years of owning a house and a mortgage, I could quite easily have paid off one, and I could have worked and saved and lived sensibly and accumulated more wealth for myself, investing it as I go. But if I'm a safe, risk-averse person, investing in something that is not risky, and if I've got a reasonable attitude to risk and an ability, then I'll go for something else just to grow it faster. Some will grow slower, some will grow faster, but that's the plan. So that was a good position to be in. My phone overheated. I'm sweating, and I've just had to put it in the freezer for a minute. Anyway, I was on a roll, and I was just telling you that you don't need to have a lot of money, because once you've got yourself to a destination, the rest of it will get easier, because the bills are significantly less than they are in places like the UK. And you heard why your bills are high. They should not be that high. God, people protest to the government. They've sold everything out to private companies, and those companies are simply making profit out of you bit by bit by bit. Anyway, living, I have done a video that says about the cost of living here for me in Malaysia, and I've shown you the house in there as well, and I've told you the budget and how we survive quite easily on £1,500. And that money can come from rent. That money can come from you securing a job, because I actually have a job in Malaysia that pays me a reasonable wage alongside my social media. Now, I secured that once I got here. I could quite easily live off of that if I was living a standard, straightforward, simple life of just food, because the bills are next to nothing, guys. Anyway, hop over to my YouTube, Saira Hayati. You'll be able to see a little bit more about what I'm up to and what I'm doing. Give me a follow, give me a share, because I think I need to do this a little bit more. I haven't been explaining things fully to you, and now I'm going to do that. And maybe even create a forum for people to join, that we can discuss your current situation and how you can get out of it. Because sometimes all you need is a plan. And I'm good at planning. And then with a financial background, I can help you with your budget and what to do and how to survive life out of that country and into something like this. And people say that I'm living the dream. Well, it's not a dream. It's actually closer to reality than you think. Breakfast is going to be served here this morning. We're staying in a beachside villa, and it's going to be a nice floating breakfast, and it's affordable. So sometimes you can give yourself a little treat now and then. Anyway, guys, follow me, share me, go to my YouTube. I'm going to do more of this because I want you all to love and enjoy what I'm loving and enjoying about life. You too can start to live and love your life. the same way that I am. This doesn't matter.